Game 2 of the series, Dbmb versus Challenger Antilles. Antilles, pretty impressive performance last game. Say what you will about Dbmb's mistakes, but Antilles capitalized on them very gracefully, did exactly what he should. I feel like he probably could have had a little bit more nuanced minesweeper play to protect his initial steward investment, but other than that, took out the sniper with his first light vehicle, made good use of infantry company. He shut Dbmb down hard. 483 victory points in game 1. That's going to be tough to top for Dbmb. All Antilles really has to do to guarantee himself faction selection in game 3 is run 3 squads at the victory points for a few minutes, and then then that's pretty much it if he wants to play it that way. I'm sure he's going to make his best effort as Oster. We've got the factions switched. Dbmb playing as U.S. forces, Antilles as Oster, Airborne Rifle and Armor Company versus Lightning War Elite Troops and Spearhead. We'll see what both of these players decide to do. Antilles going with an MG42 first, very different from what his opponent did last game, 2 Grenadiers into Sniper. Grenadiers MG42 wiring off some cover. He really likes doing the wire off cover thing. We saw that with rear echelons. We're going to see that with Pios as well. I mean, there's so much cover around here, it probably barely makes a difference. But I guess he gives them something to do while they're capturing the point. Why not? Grenadiers making their way. He's going hard north, sending all squads north. Not even going to send anything to the south. Wants to make sure to absolutely, certainly win the initial engagement. Rear echelon troops go here, fuel, munitions before back capping. Pretty simple capping order. Prioritizing resource points over victory and strategic points. 2 Grenadiers go down quick. Pios move up into the capture circle to flush the Riflemen out of cover, and Riflemen switch targets to fire on the Pios instead of Grens. Not sure if I agree with that target selection because it means that Grenadier squad will continue to do damage and not retreat. Either way, Rifleman moving up on the flank right here will snipe the MG gunner right there. This could be a big flank. Machine gun needs to retreat. Rifleman will then move up on the flank of the Grenadiers here in the north. Riflemen right there, however, have already been forced to retreat, and Antilles looks like he's going to maintain control of his fuel point here. He's still got the cutoff. Riflemen looking for an opportunity. Grenadiers going to jump inside this building so they can engage as cost effectively as possible. Third squad of Riflemen is tied up capping, and the rear echelons are way over here. Second MG42. Double MG42 opening from Antilles is a little risky against U.S. forces, because it can be a little difficult to keep track of them at the same time. If they get grenaded and stolen, then you're in a pretty rough spot, so he needs to be very careful, and it may prompt Dbmb into grenade tech.
Steady up.
Riflemen snipe the gunner of the machine gun again, but they do get a burst off on the Riflemen before they can try and get outside the arc of fire and get suppressed, forced to retreat. Grenadiers in the building leave the structure and go to do some back capping if possible. The second MG42 setting up here to screen the fuel point. And Grenadiers are going to try and get the fuel back under control, since the Pios are still trying to do some pretty aggressive capping. He does not even have control of the strategic points right outside of his base, and that's going to hurt his resource income a little bit. But it is helping him win engagements.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Nothing too serious has happened to him yet, but Dbmb is going to rush an M20. Battle Phase 1 is in production. M20 will have a brief window of opportunity to engage, while Antilles is not really quite ready for it. But he hasn't invested that much into Tier 1 units. There's 2 Grenadiers, 2 machine guns. Pios are going to retreat. Might consider throwing up an early Teller Mine, or just try and Faust the M20 initially to push it back while he gets his AT gun done.
Production upgrade accomplished.
Wires off this approach. Dbmb now has pretty much the entire map.
Utility car taking the field.
This lousy patch of dirt is ours.
Rear echelon troops making their way towards the south, potentially grab that territory. Riflemen looking around for opportunities. Doesn't want to push aggressively without M20 support. Armor skirts are about to complete. This is going to be a big push for Antilles cutoff by the look of things, and the fuel point as well. MG42 set up facing this direction in yellow cover. M20 will reveal itself. Drives over a bunch of barbed wire here. Riflemen will have access to green cover for this engagement. M20 continues to circle around looking for opportunities. That squad of Grens is quite vulnerable. They need to retreat. Oster needs to, machine gun also needs to retreat. This machine gun probably also needs to retreat, and I think Antilles will be forced completely off the battlefield here. Trying to stall for time and green cover. The protection of grenadiers in the building. Here comes a big force of riflemen. His retreat path is occupied by 2 infantry squads. If he doesn't get this stuff back to his base right now, it's probably going to get wiped on the retreat. And that machine gun is going to go into Dbmb's possession. If he makes even a half-hearted effort to chase. Which he, I guess, will not. M20 gets away miraculously. Tier 2 structure has completed. Antilles floating manpower, though. I don't know why he hasn't queued up an AT gun to try and deal with this. He's taking heavy losses. Now he's using up a scout car. I guess he couldn't decide what he wanted. But yeah, both of his machine guns have been decrewed. He will Panzerfaust the M20. Might be able to take that out with small arms fire. One more Panzerfaust if he can get it off cooldown. It's falling a little bit low. AA half-track is in production here from Dbmb to continue to apply pressure in Antilles' base. He has not lost any full squads yet. Antilles hasn't. He's lost only machine guns, and they can be recruited for half price. He has not lost a grenadier squad, and the scout car is on the field. If the scout car can provide sufficient pressure alleviation on the AA half-track with the M20 dead, might not be in a too terrible of a situation, but he needs to get that AT gun on the field. He will not be able to take out an AA half-track with the 222 alone, especially if it dies to AT grenades right now. Which it may. Riflemen might get wiped on the retreat, though. Antilles moving grenadiers into the retreat path of that rifle squad. He needs to try and pick that off. He needs to trade. But he will round the corner of that hedge and probably get away. He's going to get like one more volley. No. Rifle squad is gone. He loses his scout car after it contributes basically nothing. Just getting too close to that rifleman. AA half-track is on the field. Rear echelon troops and lieutenant protecting in the south. Riflemen being engaged in the north by that MG42. Grenadiers taking control of the victory point. No commander selection yet from Dbmb. Antilles has gone Lightning War, and he still hasn't made an AT gun. He's made a 3rd Grenadier squad. No AT gun. There it is, finally. 9-minute AT gun. Science he would actually like to be able to kill this thing.
You ready to... The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
AA half-track engaging piles on the point. They're going to be forced to retreat. Taking quite a bit of damage. MG42 will be forced to retreat by the autocannon very soon as well. Everything going to continue to get boxed into his base. He has no way to screen that thing away from his troops. There's the grenade. So grenade tech from Dbmb is probably also going to be throwing a major on the field quite soon. He's got the resources for it now. Panzerfaust on the AA half-track to damage the engine, and AT guns moving up. It will need to get 2 shots on that half-track at its current health, though, and it's going to be fine. It will at the very least be forced off the field.
The capture point is being overrun.
MG42 needs to protect against advancing infantry squads. Antilles has not lost a full unit yet except for his scout car. He's bled a lot of manpower, but he has not lost a full squad as far as I'm aware. His opponent has lost an M20, but other than that, I don't think he's lost a full squad either, so... Not particularly brutal losses on either side, I don't think. Yeah. Dbmb in the lead, but not by that much. It's just map control. He just cannot get any map control. Rifles move up into this green cover position to fire on various infantry that is base locked in Antilles base right now. One squad of grenadiers has managed to creep up to the munitions point, try and get a little bit of munitions under control, if at all possible. Pios might get wiped, a little overextended without AT gun support to protect against that AA half-track. Looks like they're going to get away narrowly. Rifle grenade on the rifleman there in the green cover, but they will dodge it easily. MG42 is charging into close range. What is that thing doing?
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Okay, MG42 is dead. This MG42 probably not going to last much longer. Gets a burst off on those riflemen. Kills losses was pretty even a second ago. Now it's getting pretty now it's getting pretty out of control though. Also, does anybody know why these numbers don't like match up? I don't understand how friendly fire is even possible with these unit compositions, so I don't think that's what it is. I think they're just wrong or something. I don't really get that. Again, I really don't understand these machine gun movements at all. These are pretty much borderline suicidal team weapon movements by Antilles. And he's going to need to stop doing that and actually like utilize his team weapons, point them towards the enemy at range and not just hand them over to his opponent here. If he's going to have any chance at winning this game. Apparently these two rifle squads standing in green cover are an insurmountable obstacle. He could use the AT gun to destroy their cover, by the way. Or field a mortar, maybe. I definitely think a scout car is a terrible decision. I don't know what he could possibly do with that. But honestly, he probably cannot win at this point now. It was kind of close before, and then he made a series of really strange decisions. From which he will probably not be able to recover. There's a Sherman on the field. He just gave a machine gun to his opponent. Pretty sure we're looking at the end of the game here. Oh, thanks for the information, Cruz. Those are some fun facts. That makes sense, actually. Well, the flame crit thing doesn't make sense, but the other thing makes sense. Interesting.
Redouble your efforts. We are down to 200 points.
He's dead! They're in contact with the enemy!
Autocannon firing on those grenadiers continues to be base locked. No hope of escape. And I thought 483 was going to be difficult for Dbmb to top, but so far it's looking like Antilles could not get a single victory point off the board. And we'll be going into Game 3 with faction selection because Antilles couldn't even get victory point control for 17 points. And it makes me wonder what Dbmb is going to choose for Game 3. He went over Commando West in Game 3 of his last series. This map may cause him to pick U.S. forces instead. There goes the full squad of Grenadiers right there. Sherman on the field trying to take out that scout car. This MG-42 is about to get destroyed. And there it is, GG. Short break and we will go into Game 3.